When the tragedy and the horror of October the 7th happened, we saw a very unusual move. France, Germany, Italy, the UK made a joint statement of steadfast and united support for the state of Israel and condemned Hamas. Now, we've had a lot of ups and downs since then.
It's not a sort of mythology to say that anti-Semitism has increased, where anti-Zionism has tipped over into anti-Jewish incidents. Although there's no overt violence, there is a sense of disdain, distaste towards those who support Israel. And of course, the majority of them just happen to be Jews.
What we have seen in the UK and right across Europe is a huge seismic rise in anti-Semitism. In the UK alone, this is somewhere around a 54% increase. And it was almost immediate, and some of it associated with violent attacks that we've not seen for a long time.
We published our yearly anti-Semitism monitor, and we concluded that we saw a 245% rise in 2023 as compared to 2022. And already before the 7th of October, we were touching upon the figures of December 2022. And then, of course, the 7th of October happened and everything exploded, as in other countries in Europe.
Madrid, in particular, Spain in general, went through a very traumatic experience. When there are protests in the university, there are only 50 or 70 or 100 people who are coming, but 25 or 30 are professors, kids who go to high school, and their teachers came with Free Palestine shirts to teach classes. By the Jewish day school, you can find swastikas, or members of the community put posters with the hostages only to see them several hours later defaced and erased. Nobody wants to go with a kippah on the streets.
For the Irish Jewish community, a lot of the debate and a lot of the discussion has been about how and to what extent should we be vocally and loudly supporting Israel. One of the girls that was taken hostage into Gaza was Emily Hand, a little Irish Israeli girl. Her father and her stepsister came to Ireland and they spoke to the community in the local Irish Jewish school. And the backlash against that was huge. And the principal of the school, again, a Jewish school, didn't want videos and pictures going out of these Jewish kids in the Jewish Irish school celebrating Emily. That was considered taking too much of a strong stance, and that there would be backlash against the Jewish community.
In Ireland and in Spain, there's been a long pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel approach before the 7th of October. Western Europe was weighed down by the legacy of colonialism and indeed of slavery, whereas Eastern Europe had a slightly different history. In Eastern Europe, I was very much welcomed.
The situation in the Netherlands is very similar. People went demonstrating, people were angry, and even here in The Hague, people went to the Israeli embassy to protest. In schools, things have been very hard. We see a lot of activity from organizations, all connected somewhat, somehow to BDS, Students for Justice for Palestine. These groups have been very, very active and aggressive towards Jewish students and also non-Jewish students.
And suddenly people become very quiet and they're very anxious and nervous. They don't want to put themselves out there because it is going into the lines then.
We asked from the church more strongly to give strong statements on the anti-Semitism here in Europe, in Italy, in our cities, because the challenge of coexistence and living is the challenge of anti-Semitism. So it's not enough to say we pray for the peace in the Holy Land, but to say we don't want to see here distortion, hatred, anti-Semitism, call for hatred, and all kinds of situations like we saw in Milan on the main cathedral, the Palestinian flag.
Our relationship with the Catholic Church over the last decades has improved tremendously. Jews and Catholics in Spain meet regularly at the highest levels of our institutions. and we do share a lot.
I think that there is an amazing opportunity here. It's obvious the connection we have one with other, that our destinies are together and are intertwined, and that we have the same destiny. We have the same past, we have the same future, but we also have to have the same present.